Hey there,
Hello, everybody. You are tuned into Non-Wealth. My name is Neo.
my name is Lebu. Today we actually have someone actually special that is actually going to be speaking about a bond originator.
I mean, it's very important getting a power team, especially when it comes to property investing, because somebody can be saying, man, I saved 1% on that, or man, I saved 2%. 1% might seem like a small number, but when it comes to 1 million, when it comes to 800,000, we speak in real numbers. So yes, ma'am, we'd like to introduce you. Today we have Miss Josephine.
Hi everybody, my name is Josephine Majahang. I'm a home loans consultant from Better Bond Home Loans. I've been with the company for the past 8 years, making dreams a reality for our customers. Yes, that's basically me in a nutshell.
That's awesome. So now, Miss Josephine, there's an inquiry that a lot of people like to do, right? So now, not a lot of people are really familiar with bond originator. So now, just in one sentence, how would you sum up a bond originator?
Mortgage origination, it's your middleman between yourself and the bank as a purchaser. We do all the work for you. We do one application that goes through to all the banks simultaneously, and then we give you a peace of mind, and our services are very reliable.
So when it comes to bond originating, there's a question that I have for you. Someone will be like, you know what, I'm loyal to my bank. I've been with my bank since day one. So what would you say are the benefits when it comes to rather going to a bond originator rather than going to that bank that I've been loyal to my whole life?
Okay, I'm going to give you an example from a foodie's point of view.
Yeah.
Would you settle for chicken or do you want a buffet? Mortgage originators, they give you a buffet. We give you a choice. You've got a choice. Whom are you going with and what's going to happen? So I always think that it's better to apply through a mortgage originator. Reason being that one application simultaneously to all 4 banks, and then we try to get the best deal for you as far as possible. And then you also get updated daily without having the hassle of picking up the phone and finding out what is happening with my application. So you've got a peace of mind if you work through a mortgage originator. So like I said, from a foodie's point of view, do you want a chicken or do you want a buffet? We give you a buffet.
That's awesome. So now we have this problem, especially as property investors, that I've applied for my first loan. So now, how is that actually going to affect me on buying my second property?
Okay, if you apply for your first loan, what the banks they normally look at your credit profile as an individual, as the investor. So they will look at your credit profile, they'll look at the affordability. On your second property, you will definitely get it, provided that your credit scoring and affordability is in order, you will definitely get bond. But if you are buying your third property, that's where you need to be in a position to give a deposit towards the third property that you are buying.
So we know most of the time when we're dealing with estate agents, they also have their bond originators. You'll find out, let's say as a property investor, I already have a bond originator that I come far from. I've been working with this bond originator and I'm loyal to them. We've been speaking about loyalty throughout our session. So am I forced to actually use a bond originator that comes with the estate agent who will be securing the deal, or do I have another alternative?
Definitely not. No one can force you to do anything that you're not comfortable with. As a client, you hold the power. You've got the power in your hands, because without you, that deal is not possible. So you've got the right to use your own people, because at the end of the day, what matters is closing that deal, even for the estate agents themselves. So you need to be firm with your estate agent and say, listen, I've got a Josephine working from Better Bond. I've been working with this lady for a couple of years. I've got 2 properties or 3 properties through this lady. I trust her with my documents. She's very confidential, and I want to use my application. I want to put my application through Josephine. So there's no way where an estate agent can say no, rather use another mortgage originator whereby you've got a Josephine. So we're looking at the objective. What is the objective? The objective is closing that deal at the end of the day and the agent getting their commission. So nobody has got any right to make you use their own originator or whomever they feel.
Awesome. So now, with being a property investor, right, buying a property is almost like what you do for business, right? So now you find that property investors would be buying properties after every 6 to 3 months, depending on how their actually cash flow is and how everything is actually structured. So now the question that I have is that how does that actually affect my credit score? So now say for instance I'm taking on my first bond right now, the property is cash flowing positive, I'm getting money from this property, meaning that I'm able to actually pay off my what I'm owing to the bank. I'm also able to actually pay off what I'm actually owing in terms of the rates and taxes. So now how does that actually affect my credit score if I have the lease agreement to actually justify why I need to actually get the second bond or the third bond?
When we apply for a home loan, an inquiry is done on your name. So with the inquiry being done on your name in the background, your scoring gets affected. So as a property investor, you need to be in good standing with regards to, because remember, if you're going to apply, say for instance, Josephine's credit scoring is average. If Josephine's credit scoring is average and then she gets away with buying her first property, her second property, then chances are Josephine might not be able to buy her third property because on the inception, when she bought her first property, her scoring was average. But if you've got an excellent credit rating as Josephine, and then you want to buy 3 or 5 properties, you are more than welcome to do that. You can buy as many properties as you want. So it's always advisable for people to always build on their credit rating. So getting their first property, paying it off very well, and then being up to date with your payments on all your accounts. Remember, it's not just about the property. You also need to pay your Edgar's account, because not paying your Edgar's account is going to affect you very negatively. So don't concentrate on this asset, which is a property. Once you obtain that first property, make sure that, okay, Josephine told me that when I was applying for this property, my scoring was average. So I need to build on my credit scoring so that I can obtain that second property. So by building on your credit profile is you paying your accounts monthly. You like, it's honoring your commitments, your credit bureau commitments. Because when you open that account, you are making a commitment. Same as buying a property, you are also making a long-term commitment. So short-term commitments are also very important in this instance.
Okay, so I'm having someone, I feel, right? I feel in my spirit that there's someone that's actually watching this particular video and they're saying that I do not have a credit rating. I'm actually at 0 right now. What would be the best way to actually start your credit score before buying a particular property?
If you don't have any credit rating whatsoever, a person who's been a student for the past 7 years, take for instance a doctor, they do not have a credit rating because they've been studying for the past 7 years. So they've just started to earn their first income now. So I would advise, as a young professional, what you first need to do, you need to open an account. Say for instance, you open an account with a retailer. The retailers that are going to build, like one of the retailers that I know that will build your credit scoring gradually as the months go by, it's Edgar's and Woolworths. So rather open an Edgar's and Woolworths account, but look at your affordability as well, because you don't want to take debt for like 20,000 rand and then you at a later stage you do not qualify. Rather buy that one t-shirt, service that account for the next 3 months. That will eventually build you scoring gradually, and then you can come back and apply for a home loan. Or take a credit card. But when you take a credit card, remember what you need to do. Use that credit card wisely. That way, affordability is still in order, and on the other hand, you are busy building your credit profile.
Wow. That's great insights. I mean, with what you just said right now, it's clear that if actually with property investing or even just looking at credit itself, it's not just I'm deciding that I want to buy a property, so I'm going tomorrow. Or I'm deciding that I want the best credit score, I want to see that tomorrow. It's clear that it's a process. It's clear that you need to take care of your credit. We're always speaking about credit being a process and it's an enabler. Let's be honest, it's an enabler, especially if you do not have cash. So it's very important to take care of it so that it can take care of your wealth.
Is there any final words that you'd actually like to say to the viewers?
Always try to educate yourself. Always look out for those people that can educate you, because going into property is a long-term commitment. It's like a marriage commitment. So you first need to find out what you're getting yourself into before you actually take that step. So rather get yourself educated before you enter into this whole thing, because it can either be good for you and it can also be bad for you. So you don't want to end up divorcing your property.
That was a sour way to actually end off the show when you're speaking about divorce.
No, it's not sour. It's actually not sour. Remember, we don't want divorce at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We want you to be a good property investor. You look after something, then it will in turn look after you. Same as your credit rating. Honor those commitments, and then you will see the results. It will give you'll reap the fruit of your hard work.
That is the practicality of life. That is the practicality of life. And what you said right now is very true, because if we don't speak about this, if we don't have a platform whereby we speak about the truth of the other side of credit, as much as when we're looking at credit, it's excess, let's also look on the other side. If I don't pay, what is on the other side? So I'm happy that we ended off the video on a real note, not on a good note, man. It's a real note, and you need to take note of that. Nongwealth signing out. Cheers.